This is a Vader's Vault Fury lightsaber. It's a custom saber configured as a Plector saber, and it's equipped with a CFX board, so a Crystal Focus 10 soundboard in it. So that's pretty cool. Now you can see this design is very sleek, very simple, but elegant. So the hilt has an outside diameter of about 1.25 inches, and then the length of the hilt is about 10.5 inches long. So kind of very practical size, and you can see that it's a mostly uniform diameter throughout, although there are certain design flourishes to the hilt as well. So we have these sort of, pinhole emitter windows at the top. That's a pretty neat effect, and we'll see that in action a little bit later. There's this recessed AV switch here, activation switch, and then on the rear of the saber is the auxiliary switch. And it's sort of this tactile switch. And then below that we have these grooves. They're kind of extruded rings almost, but these kind of grooves in this sort of tapered section. And then toward the base of the hilt, there's a series of black vertical grips. So that gives it a little bit of an original trilogy vibe, I think. And they have these kind of rounded corners to them. And it makes it a lot easier to grip the hilt as well. And then here's the pommel section. It kind of tapers a little bit, and then it's vented, of course, for the sound. Now, one of the neat things about these newer Vader's Vault sabers, so newer within the past years or so, a few years or so, they come apart in the middle. And so the battery is right here, and the battery is very easily removable. So you just kind of unscrew the bottom part slightly, and then you can very easily take the battery out like that, and then you can also access the card in there if you need to. Vader's Vault recommends using some tweezers to get at that. There's also this on the other side, but it's a very handy, very practical chassis, and it protects the wires, and it's just, pretty high quality, pretty well done. We'll get that hooked up again. We might hear a little bit of a sound when we do. There we go. Very kind of smooth lines throughout the hilt, and no edges anywhere. This bottom part of the hilt comes off too, if you need it. Speakers right there. So that's just kind of a tour of the hilt itself. Now, unfortunately, this design, it was retired earlier this year in January, but Vader's Vault, it sounds like, intends to bring back the design in some form in the future, so don't be surprised if we see something like this again at some point. Now, let's get the blade attached to this. So here's just the Neopixel blade. We'll kind of get that into the blade socket and get the blade retention screw tightened a little bit. And then I think we should be good to go. So there is a dedicated Fury sound font that's loaded on this hilt. So let's fire that up. It's a very kind of dark, ominous sounding font. Got the very good sensitivity, motion sensitivity. This blade color is maybe sort of a dark pink color, magenta. Let's use the aux switch.
Sound bank selection.
So there are a bunch of other sound fonts on here. I'm not going to play them all right now, but let's try this one.
selection.
It's a very deep purple color. It's always fun hearing all these different fonts. All right.
I'm glad I gave you something to look forward to. Sound bank selection.
Let's try this one. Oh, that's cool. That's like a teal color. It's got a different kind of hum to it.
Sound bank selection.
Oh, we'll just play one more. I might have said that already.
Don't be afraid of who you are.
Definitely very flame-like. Alright, anyway, I think that's it for now. So this has been a look at Vader's Vault Fury, and it is configured as a Plector Pixel Saber with a CFX board. Very advanced stuff, you guys, very fun, and a pretty just neat design overall. So here it is. Feel free to comment below.